Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai to the top of the mount, and Yahweh called Moshe to the top of the mount, and Moshe went up. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through to Yahweh to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also that come near to Yahweh sanctify themselves, lest Yahweh break forth upon them. And Moshe said to Yahweh, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou didst charge us, saying, Set bounds about the mount, and sanctify it. And Yahweh said to him, Go, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up to Yahweh, lest he break forth upon them. So Moshe went down to the people and told them. And Yahweh spoke from the mountain all the 10 words, and all the people perceived the thunderings, and the lightnings, and the voice of the sounding horn, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled, and stood afar off. And they said to Moshe, Speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near to the thick darkness where the God was. And God spoke to Moshe many ordinances for the people. Shemot, Exodus, chapter 24. And he said to Moshe, Come up to Yahweh, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moshe alone shall come near to Yahweh, but they shall not come near, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moshe came and told the people all the words of Yahweh, and all the ordinances. And all the people answered with one voice, and said, All the words which Yahweh hath spoken will we do. And Moshe wrote all the words of Yahweh, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the mount, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, who offered ascending offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to Yahweh. And Moshe took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, All that Yahweh hath spoken will we do, and be obedient. And Moshe took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, Behold the blood of the covenant which Yahweh hath made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moshe and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the God of Israel. And there was under his feet as it were a paved work of sapphire stone, and as it were the very skies for clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand, and they beheld the God, and did eat and drink. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Come up to me into the mount, and be there. And I will give thee the tablets of stone, and the law and the command, which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moshe rose up, and Yehoshua his servant, and Moshe went up into the mount of the God. And he said to the elders, Tarry ye here for us, until we come again to you. And behold, Ahron and Hur are with you. Whosoever hath a cause, let him come near to them. And Moshe went up into the mount, and the cloud covered the mount. And the glory of Yahweh abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And the 7th day he called to Moshe out of the midst of the cloud. And the appearance of the glory of Yahweh was like a devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moshe entered into the midst of the cloud, and went up into the mount. And Moshe was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they take for me an offering. Of every man whose heart maketh him willing, ye shall take my offering.